perfect wine for a hot and dry Australian summer is rosé. And we have some great examples here. Rosé is such a refreshing, chillable, smashable, it goes with so many different kinds of food as well and so many different occasions. And I guess there is quite a range of styles of rosé, and that also feeds into the idea that different foods go with different rosés. Fuller-bodied rosés, of which there are quite a lot in places like the Barossa. Quite often deep-coloured rosés with a lot of richness to them. They go with heartier food than the most delicate rosés. Okay, so let's crack one open. I'm feeling thirsty. So this is the single file rosé from the deep south of Western Australia. And this is one of our top rosés for 2024. At the moment, I believe it is our #1 rosé in Australia on the Real Review. Let's have a taste. Very pale colour, as you can see. Very much in vogue, that pale colour. You can't always tell if it's going to be a light wine from its colour. The nose is generally not thought to be such an important part of a rosé, but if it smells good, so much the better, and this certainly smells good. And there is the smell of dried flowers, bouquet garni. Yeah, it's really quite an attractive bouquet. Let's have a go. It is quite a delicate rosé. Very, very quaffable. It's so light and yet intense on the palate. Nice and clean and dry on the finish. Not too much tannin. Sometimes there can be tannin in a rosé. This wine is very fine on the palate. It's got a clean, dry finish, and there is a touch of tannin there, but the main thing is that the sugar level of this wine is low, and the wine tastes as you would expect it to taste. Beautiful. Now for something completely different is this rosé from Lambrook in the Adelaide Hills. The colour of that suggests that it's going to be slightly different, perhaps quite a bit different to the single file wine. Only $25 a bottle, so it's good value. And really sweet Turkish delight, cherries, all sorts of fruity aromas here on the nose. Quite compelling, that bouquet. It really makes me want to take a sip. Let's see if it's a fuller bodied style of rosé, as perhaps the colour might lead us to suspect. Well, it is a rich wine. It's got plenty of flavour, plenty of acidity, which cleans and refreshes the finish. It's dry, so there's no sweetness in that wine. Excellent. Now, if you really want to splash out and celebrate something, go for a bottle of really high-end sparkling wines, such as the Arras, the House of Arras. This is their vintage rosé. So I'll take that off. Ooh, well, it took quite a bit of moving, but when it came out with a rush. Okay, House of Arras 2016 rosé. This wine would be majority Pinot Noir, but also Chardonnay involved in it. The colour of that wine is as pale as they come. It has got what I would call onion skin colour. So it's more developed than a pink wine. The pinker the wine, the more purple in the pink, the fresher it looks, the younger it looks, the younger it is generally. So this wine is a wine with age on it, 2016. Quite mature, and the colour has transformed appropriately. I always find myself swirling sparkling wine, but you're not supposed to swirl it because the bubbles are supposed to bring the aroma out of it, and you shouldn't need to swirl it. So the bouquet, complex. I mean, that is the definition of complexity. There's so many aromas in that, it's really hard to single them out and describe them. Love that. That is so compelling. You would never get tired of sniffing that wine. What does it smell like? Gosh. Well, there are certainly the forest floor characters there, which Pinot Noir gives it, and the wine has a marvellous combination of complexity, intensity and delicacy. Those three things all exist in this one wine. Fabulous. Length of palate, flavour goes on and on and on. It's very dry, and I suspect there's been very little sweetening added to this one. So I hope those few tips about rosé will help you get your lips around a very good rosé this summer. And if you go to the Real Reviews website, search on our rosés and have a look at what we've got to offer. It's being updated constantly. You'll be bound to find something that agrees with you. So cheers.